Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth installment of my top 10 series. In this video, I will count down the top 10 people who I believe to be the most influential blacks in history. I will only include people who are ethnically from the African continent or are black, so no people like the Ptolemies of Egypt or Hannibal of Carthage. Plus, this video will not be in chronological order. Without anything else to state, let's begin. Number 10, King Tut. Arguably the most famed pharaoh of all of Egyptian history, Tutankhamun would prove that not just long reigns could be influential. During a short reign of about 10 years, from 1333 to 1323 BCE, Tutankhamun would encourage the arts and culture of ancient Egypt. He would also undo the ridiculous reforms of his father, Akhenaten, which basically established a cult. Following his death, King Tut and his tomb would be discovered by British archaeologist Howard Carter in 1922, capturing the world's fascination with ancient Egypt and its culture. For more, see the video I did about him for his biography. Number 9, Ramses II the Great. Would you look at that, another Egyptian pharaoh. By far the most important pharaoh in my opinion, Ramses the Great would make sure that Egypt would reach its zenith of power, which it did during his reign of 66 years, from 1279 BCE to 1213 BCE. In that time period, he would defend the Egyptian homeland from the Hittites at the Battle of Kadesh in 1274 BCE, bringing a golden age to Egypt, build the temples of Abu Simbel and Karnak, and make sure his lineage would continue by having over 150 children with 200 women. Anyways, number 8, Matsumusa. Whether you've heard his name or not, you will certainly be impressed by what he did. Matsumusa, ruler of the Amali Empire between 1312 and 1337 CE, 25 years, he would change the course of African history. Due to his empire's insanely profitable gold mines, Matsumusa would amass so much money that in today's terms, he would be wealthier than Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk put together, totaling over $400 billion. With his immense wealth, he would travel across Africa and the Middle East, handing out economic overinflation like candy, which caused Egypt's economy to crash. He also promoted the spread of Islam, further cementing the religion which would dominate North Africa to the present. Number 7, Ibn Battuta. One of the names you have probably heard and promptly forgotten, Ibn Battuta invokes a legacy of scholarly glory. Battuta, a Amazigh native of what's now Morocco, was born in 1304. During his pilgrimage to Mecca, he realized that he'd love to travel. He would go on to sail over 117,000 miles, more than Columbus and Magellan ever did put together, in 4 expeditions across Europe, Africa, and Asia. He discovered and documented many things, which would inspire later explorers. Through his meticulous cartography and historical records, we owe much of our medieval knowledge of the world to Ibn Battuta. Number 6, Jesse Owens. A man at first, Owens' name you'll surely recognize. A born and raised American, Jesse Owens would take on his passion of running from a very young age. Eventually, he rose to the 1936 Berlin Olympics. There, he obliterated Germany's team in the long jump and dash divisions, all in the set of, yeah. Upon his victory, he had received 3 gold medals in the 100-meter, 200-meter, and long jump divisions, inspiring many black athletes to come. Number 5, Maya Angelou. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story in you. So Maya Angelou once said, a champion of American poetry, Angelou would rise to be the catalyst for modern poetry in the U.S. She would write about her wishes for equality and peace for all the world's inhabitants. Like in her poem, Still I Rise, Angelou would pique the interest of many aspiring poets and writers, especially modern ones like Amanda Gorman. Number 4, Harriet Tubman. Many people do what they love, but few will do what others have not done. So is the case for Harriet Tubman. During her life in the late 19th century and early 20th century, Harriet Tubman will literally bring freedom with her. Once she escaped her cruel slave owners, Tubman would return over 15 times to slave-owning territories under the Underground Railroad, risking her life to free others. Tubman would become one of the most important abolitionists. Number 3, Martin Luther King Jr. No introduction is needed for such a figure. It is almost unheard of for one to have changed a modern nation so much and in so many ways. During his life, MLK would advocate for black rights, equality, racial justice, and much more. He would kickstart the 1960s civil rights movement, which would lead to the act of the same name. Even though his life was tragically cut short and taken from him, his legacy remains a heavy and powerful force to this day. Number 2, Barack Obama. The 44th President of the U.S., Obama can be viewed, regardless of political belief, as a man of many firsts and accomplishments. For one, he masterminded the Affordable Care Act, which ensured obtainable prices for medical consumers across the nation. Additionally, he ended American involvement in the Iraq War, reformed education, and financial laws. Plus, he promoted equality. And now, the individual I believe to be the most influential, important black figure in history is number 1, Nelson Mandela. Few names carry the weight of justice, equality, and empowerment that Nelson Mandela does. Born from humble beginnings, Mandela would be raised with a mindset that racial equality and justice were human rights. Tragically, he would be imprisoned for over 27 years under South Africa's despicable, barbaric, and inhuman apartheid government, spending much of that time at Robben Island. With his release via President F.W. de Klerk, Mandela emerged with the same mindset. After negotiations with de Klerk, Mandela would begin the end of apartheid. From 1994 to 1999, Mandela would lead a new, reborn South Africa, serving as its first president and also serving as an inspiration as to how equality, justice, and prosperity can be reached. And with that, that was my top 10 most influential blacks in history, just in time for Black History Month. This was my opinion, just remember, others may feel free to agree or disagree. My next video will be a first of a new format. It will be on history currently being made, as it will be a current events video on the rising tensions and possible war between Russia and Ukraine. It will come out on February 5th. Between now and then, anything can happen, so we'll see what does. Anyways, thanks for watching. Happy Black History Month.